voulais voir si
C'est ici qu'ils vont faire les mobiles alors.
ah, on va demander.
Il y a des gourous parmi nous. Des gourous, non. The mobile clinics for us is an important part of the work because in our vision we say that we want to make good quality medicine accessible to everyone, including the poorest, in Jesus' name. So accessibility is a very big issue, geographical. I mean, these kids, if they don't feel well, they won't start walking to a hospital because, first of all, it's too far away. Second, they cannot afford to pay for it. 17 years ago or so, we started doing these mobile clinics in primary schools because it's a school is kind of already an organized thing where you have lists of children and how old they are. And we found out that about 60 to 70% of the kids have some medical issue that can be addressed right there, right here. I mean, we don't need to come with fancy stuff trying to solve their problem. It's mostly like chronic wounds or malaria or a chest infection or worms, so things that you can actually very easily treat with the pills that we bring or the syrups. In order to see a big number of kids, I mean, this school here has 120 kids that we have to go through in one morning. You need a lot of people to do that. So we set up in stations, and so there will be the children will come. There's like an admin post where they will write down their names again and how old they are, and typically they will get a recipient to pee in, and we will check for their urine to see if there's any blood or infection. Then they will be weighed and measured. So there's always a student or someone who's accompanying them through all these stations. These children do learn French, but they've never seen a weighing scale. They've never seen an eye test. So they are accompanied, and someone is showing them how that goes. So we do check their eyes. If we see that a child has problems with eyesight, we follow up on that and make sure the child gets glasses so that he can learn better and follow what's going on the blackboard. And then after these different stations, the child goes to see the doctor, who will then do a complete exam. He will ask a few questions, to figure out the most prevalent symptoms and diseases that people might have. I mean, after being a long time in this country, and even the local doctors, they know exactly what to look for. And so they will write down the symptoms that they find, and they will maybe do a malaria test. We have these rapid tests with just a drop of blood. We can see if the child has malaria or not, and try to figure out what diseases the child might have. Everything that we can treat here, we will just give the pills or explain how the wound needs to be cared for. If there's a disease that is like way beyond what can be handled on site, the child will then be referred to the Paam Laafi hospital. I mean, the most extreme case that I remember is that we were able to send the child all the way to Paris because she had a heart murmur and was very thin and had lack of oxygen, and she needed a heart operation. So we sent the child off to Paris, where she stayed with a family for 2 or 3 months, got her a heart operation done, and came back and lived a happy life after. I mean, I keep saying to the people who volunteer and work with us, it might feel like almost insignificant. I mean, spending half a day here and trying to reach out to these children. But I always say, you know, if you do an eye test well on one of these kids who has an eyesight problem, and all of a sudden we discover that there is a problem and we are able to help with that, I mean, that child will all of a sudden be enabled to have a good life, to study well, maybe one day become a teacher or who knows, a minister of this country. So you never know, but it's so encouraging for me to see that our Dr. Maurice, he just picked it up and is trying to get his fellows, young doctors or students to get involved with this and on a voluntary basis. It's amazing to see that happen.
J'avais voulu venir, mais je n'ai pas pu. C'est la question.